Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the new homestead. It is Friday the 10th of April 2026, 5 days away from having to have your taxes done. Mine are, and I already got my federal back. Anyway, that's not the topic of today's video. Today is part one of tearing down so we can rebuild. And what I'm going on about is fixing this gate that runs from the corner of the deck over to the neighboring fence, and fixing the fence line. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's got quite the bow in it. One of the problems I have is this post right here. The gate post was attached to it, and this is a corner post for the railing on the deck that runs around the place here. And I have this little bit of a problem right here. See here? Yeah, that post is rotted off down there at the bottom. So we're going to unbolt that, remove it from here, and we're going to replace it with a 4x6 that I have to buy yet. And we're going to lag screw it to the deck and sink it in the ground, set it in concrete, and that will be the gate post for the gate we're going to put in here. So what the plan of attack is here for the gate, like I said, we're going to replace that corner post of the deck with a 4x6 set in concrete, anchored to the deck itself, and then gate hinges will attach to that. And we can reuse the hinges, I think, off of the existing gates for that purpose. Now, what we're going to put in its place, besides this dog-eared cedar panel that's been cut into two sections to make a swinging open gate that parts in the middle, so we're going to replace it with one 10-foot tubular steel gate like what you'd use at a farm for corral panels, that sort of thing. We're going to put it in across there with a latch on the far side, the fence side for between my place and the neighbors, and we're going to put a 4x6 in over there as well to help hold the fence and have a place to anchor that latch assembly for the gate too. And then we're going to take apart all of these cedar panels off of the gates that are here, and we're going to reattach them with self-tapping sheet metal screws, I think, or somehow or another to that tubular steel gate. What we'll probably end up doing is mounting 2x3 or 2x4 to the tubes of the gate, probably a pair of them, top and bottom of the gate, and then we'll take some of those two-hole pipe straps and attach those boards to the fence with those. That way we're not drilling holes into that steel panel. Make it last a little longer, if you follow. If not, follow along and you'll see what I'm up to as we go. There's some pretty little flowers blooming coming up between the panels of this gate that's laying here on the ground. There's some more of those pretty little flowers just up from the gate spill. As you can see, there's sections of this fence that really have some leaning issues, and clear back down towards the far end there's a couple of panels leaning in. Now the problem I'm going to have is those 4x4 posts on this side that hold up the fence are right on the property line. And the way the previous owner assembled these fence panels with these metal clips on either side of the 4x4 posts does not make for easy repairing of the said fence. Especially seeing how the fence is right on the property line, and I don't really want to get over there and have the neighbor more upset at me over the condition of the fence. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to have to fix it from my side of the fence. And because the fence is still standing on this side of the property, that's going to be one of the latter things I do is fix that. In fact, that'll be one of the last things I do is fix that. But for right now, what I've got to concentrate on is the gate that goes into the backyard that's half fallen apart, and replacing fence panels on the west side of the property that are totally missing. Now, as you can see right there, kind of it's in the shadow, but that post has rotted off, and it has some more of those stupid little metal clips. I don't know, there's one right there running up the side to attach it to something. And it had metal framework around it holding this thing square. Even had a latch up there on that top corner. And these are going to be disassembled and reattached to a new gate. All those panels or boards or whatever you want to call them. The first thing up on this, it appears there is some screws, maybe galvanized self-tappers, holding these boards to the metal framework. Yeah, they are kind of. So we're going to pull those out, get them out of the way. Now what I would like to have done is remove those two screws there and the corresponding screws down here and the ones down at the bottom there and there, and lifted the entire dog-eared panel off. But what it looks like I'm going to end up having to do is knock every one of these boards, dog-eared boards, loose of these 2x4s, and then I can unscrew these 2x4s and lift them off of this metal bracketry from the way it's made. So yeah, bear with me while I knock this apart. I don't know how successful we're going to be at this, but we're going to give it a whirl. Fortunately, these boards are all just put on with a couple of 1/4-inch crown staples. There we go. Can't get the pry bar in there. We'll whack them back a little bit like a hammer. Yeah. Alrighty, all of the dog-eared boards are off of this one section of gate now. So I'm going to go ahead and take out those little screws up in the corners there and down here and whatnot, and take those 2x4s out to disassemble or start disassembling that metal framework. Yeah. Alright, all the screws are out now except for these here in the tops and over there and up under there and here, that screw these up into the 2x, and every single one of those heads has been stripped out. So I'm going to have to get a Sawzall out and cut those 2x out of there. Oh, dead battery. Wouldn't you know it? Gotta love battery-powered tools, but I might be able to break this one. Nope. Okay, back to the drawing board and charging the battery. But anyway, now I got some firewood for next week when it's cold and wet. Oh, that'll take care of that little project. While the battery's charging and whatnot, I'll go ahead and knock apart the dog-ear boards off of the other gate and start disassembling it while we're waiting for batteries to charge up and whatnot. Well, I'll spare you taking this gate apart because it's going to be basically the same thing as the other gate, and the only way we got to get it off of here is to loosen either this bolt or that one and slide the receptacle end or the female end of the hinge up or down, as the case may be, to release it from the pins that's screwed into the 4x4 in the fence. And then this whole gate would come off. So, yeah, like I said, I'll spare you that because it's basically dismantling it the same way as I did the other gate. And we'll use it for parts and pieces later on down the road. You know, as I was standing there disassembling that gate, I had another thought. I'm 133 inches in width from the fence panel to over here to the rail. If I put in a 10-foot gate and the pickup's 8 foot wide, that's going to be pretty dang tight. So yeah, I think that 11 foot of width is going to be a lot better. That's going to be 1.5 feet on the other side of the truck to squeeze it and a trailer through here into the backyard. So for now, I think we're going to forego that gate. You know, as I get older, I reflect back on all the people I've lost over the years. And during that reflection in time, I have come to the conclusion that probably being a tour guide wasn't a good choice of a career. So I think that'll do it for today's video. I'm going to wrap up taking down that other half of the gate there. And I think we're going to skip that for now, like I was thinking, just because of the widths and trying to maneuver a trailer behind a pickup in there. So yeah, I think we're going to forego that gate idea for right at the minute anyway, and we're going to concentrate on getting the fence repaired around here. Well, I got other things to do too. You know, I've got to put in a dryer vent. I've been living here now since September and I still don't have a working dryer put in. So I can't vent the dumb thing. There's nowhere to vent it to. So I got to drill some holes and put in a vent and that sort of thing. So yeah, a lot of little projects to do. So it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Anyway, we'll catch up with you later. You have an awesome day. I'm Dave, wishing you all well. Bye-bye for now.